it's been 1 year since Wild Hearts released, and within that year, Wild Hearts died. The second I saw Wild Hearts, I was intrigued. A game that was about Monster Hunting, but not Monster Hunter. It seemed to have a big budget and a Japanese aesthetic, which is the fastest way to make this weeb empty his wallet. So why did the game die? And most of all, does Wild Hearts deserve your time a year later? I'm going to share with you the story of its demise and share my experiences with Wild Hearts through the highs and through the lows. Let's begin. Developed by Omega Force, the creators of Toukiden, or Oni Monster Hunter as I like to call it, they used the experience they obtained from that series, mixed in some Monster Hunter-isms, and added in some fresh new mechanics like building. No, not that building. Yeah, that's the stuff. There was so much to look forward to. This game was not meant to take over Monster Hunter's spot in our hearts. Instead, it was supposed to give hunting fans something similar yet new while they waited for Monster Hunter Wilds. There was one issue though. They shook hands with the devil himself to get this game published. EA. But I'll get back to that glaring issue in just 1 second. First reason this game died was the launch. The game didn't just run like buns for a lot of people. It straight up wouldn't run for a lot of people. And because of this, the PC community dragged this game. Billy, Melly, and I were the lucky few who had no issues with the game at launch.
Jimmy's mom.
Bro.
Jimmy's mom.
Oh my god.
Jimmy's mom.
The second reason Wild Hearts died. I believe Monster Hunter fans were way too invested in their game and their community to really give Wild Hearts a chance, which is understandable when you play a franchise for a decade or more. The devs treat you right with paid for and free content, and over time, that game becomes almost a second home to you. Also, many Monster Hunter fans wondered why this game looked graphically half as impressive as Monster Hunter World while performing 90% worse than Monster Hunter World, yet it was running on a hardware multiple times more powerful than what Monster Hunter World had. I'm telling you, the art style really carries this game. But the third reason it died is because it came out in 2023. Do I need to say more? Look at this year. This year was stacked, bro. Lastly, and for me, the biggest reason it failed is because EA cut support for the game after just 7 months. Only 7 months. This is not how you build a loyal and raving fan base like Monster Hunter has. And it's definitely not how you convert fans of that series to come over and try your game. But EA and Ubisoft are just dookie companies. And that sucks because I miss this dude saying,
EA Originals.
Now I want to start by ranting on everything I love about Wild Hearts while I hunt the last kimono they added to the game before it lost support, the Murakumo. Nice. To prepare for this fight, we need to eat, which will both buff our health and abilities. But we found out our bellies were already full. This is one of the many quality of life things I appreciate from Wild Hearts. When you get killed by a kimono, you don't need to waste resources and eat up again. Instead, you keep all the buffs from eating until you are successful with the hunt. Eating is definitely more involved than in Monster Hunter. You don't get a 5-star chef to cook you up meals. Instead, you get to farm and hunt. This could be very annoying very quickly, but everything is as automated as possible, requiring the bare minimum from the player. If you need fish, just let this wooden fish fish the fish for you. Most materials you will pick up are found around the world while hunting the bigger kimono, and some small animals you can kill as you pass them on the hunt, but some you get the pet. I need so much more of this in my life. In general, Wild Hearts on the back end does a great job of having you create automated systems to get materials for crafting, or automated buildings for materials which are utilized for building in combat, or creating your own transportation systems with grapple lines. My favorite way of travel by far is the big wheel. Obvious inspiration from Spider-Man's iconic big wheel. We eventually made our way to the box. We had not played a single minute of Wild Hearts for months, and we were going to jump into one of the hardest fights in the game, not including deeply volatile kimonos. Safe to say, we got stomped hard. I tried to use my favorite weapon, which was a transforming staff, but the fox was so fast, I felt like I could never build up meter, which allowed for big moves like this. Oh my god. Oh my god! god! Oh my 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 god! So we realized we needed a shortcut to beating the fox without grinding to get good again. This is where the umbrella enters the chat. Because the fox was so crazy fast, we believed that the only way to beat the fox was to parry it. Honestly, it took just as much time to relearn the timing on the parry as it would have been to just get good again with the staff. But it didn't matter because, like all games, hitting the parry made an ungodly amount of feel-good chemicals flow into the brain. So I grabbed the best umbrella I had, which was pretty darn good, as I had almost maxed out every weapon in the game. It was really impressive to me that all the weapons were fun and had an easy to pick up quality to them. In Monster Hunter, I dedicated myself to 1, maybe 2 weapons per playthrough of the game to get actually good with it. Katana and Wild Hearts was fun as hell. The hammer was funny to look at and play. The big sword, it was epic, of course. Somehow they even managed to make the bow fun. And the cannon could transform you into an Apache attack helicopter, which also allowed you to shoot a Kamehameha. My main weapon was the morphine staff, because it was insanely fun when you got into the rhythm of switching between weapon forms, and it was the most powerful finisher in the game. While the chain was easily the best weapon in the game. Basically easy mode if you wanted to have unlimited mobility and style. Wild Heart's weapons are simple when compared to Monster Hunter, but it's fine that they are simple because when you add in building to the mix, the combat becomes more complex. So, after a couple more times of getting murdered by our beautiful pink friend, we reached our time limit and we would need to wait for tomorrow.
1 week later.
Melly was somehow always too busy to play and I wasn't finishing this without her. So we finally got back on a week later. We had to hope that the skills we obtained aged like fine wine, or we were going to be starting from square one. Ladies and gents, we were the purest sake Japan had ever seen. After today, they would call me Lucas Locked In Leander. The first stage was unbelievably easy, with me nailing the fox in the face with the new Beyblades they added to the game. Building was easy to jump back into. How it works is that you have basic building blocks that let you do simple functions like jump higher, spring through attacks, or helicopter mode. Every single one of these building blocks gives a weapon a unique attack, which are better for hunting some kimono, while some were also great for traversal, like the glider, which speeds up a hunt a lot. You can combine these building blocks into 3 to 6 block combination patterns, which will create walls or traps or cannons of doom. And of course, Beyblades. You don't need to memorize the patterns, as it will tell you what you can or can't build in the upper right hand side of the screen along with the pattern. It reminds me a lot of the stratagems from Helldivers, except Helldivers made it easier to use by making the symbols D-pad direction signs. For this fight, the Beyblade and the fireworks would be the most important building. The Beyblades would stun him when he did specific moves, while the fireworks would knock him out of the air. But it was hard to land these attacks at times due to his diverse moveset. Messed it up. Oh, I bumped the water. With every parry, my confidence grew, but so did my hubris. I was honestly getting down too much, even though I was doing good damage. So eventually, when I tried to parry a move that I knew deep down I had no business trying to parry, this happened. I'm dead, no! Every time you go down, the time given for your teammates to pick you back up shortens, and you only get 3 full deaths before you fail a hunt. We had just 1 more life before we would fail the hunt. No! No! God damn it! So we failed, but we wouldn't stop until we had that glorious armor. Just look at it. Look at that cool mask. I want it. I need it. So we ran the hunt again, and I wasted all of our lives right at the beginning, which was worrying. But then I started to lock in, parrying so many of the moves I could tell I was memorizing the moveset. With every parry, I would fill up my bar, allowing me to do the spinny umbrella spin of doom. But yet again, I was getting overconfident. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm stunned. I'm going to die. What? Auto parry! Auto parry! The auto parry! The
It came in clutch for the one time I needed it.
We thought the stars had aligned. This was our time.
Got the boxes. No!
If I hadn't died and went down so much, Melly would have been okay to go down. And technically, my revive was so short, I died before she did. Meaning, I used all 3 of our lives. We needed a little breather. So we took a quick dip trip to the spa and played around a bit and spent some time with our buddy, Toukiden. Listen to the little noises he makes. This replenished our energy and lifted our spirits. The final battle was upon us. We started the fight off strong. I had full meter and I was able to get a couple full combo umbrella spins off. I was a bit worried because I missed my parries, but the fight would be long, so I tried to adjust. It was so easy to get overconfident from the godlike parries I started to put on display, only to be put in my place groveling for a revive. Eventually, we'd gotten through the first part of the hunt without a full death. Let's see how the second phase went.
Oh. Ooh, you can... What the? Whoa, I'm getting, like, trying to heal, and I'm just getting, like, combos for it.
Well, that's this phase in a nutshell. I fell into that healing trap that happens in Monster Hunter or Dark Souls, where you feel like you need the heal, so then you heal, but get hit while healing, making it so that you need the heal, but then get hit again, until eventually you come out the other end with full health and 0 potions left. Luckily, another nice thing is that in Wild Hearts, you get 10 potions from the healing wells, and 2 potions per plant you find while roaming. So you never feel like you need to complete chores to have health like in Monster Hunter. Granted, it is easy to get full health potions in Monster Hunter, but it is another step to obtain a necessary item for hunting. We fought our way back to the tree, and I finally got out of the way of his big insta-kill AoE.
Yes, I got out of here once!
And Melly ripped out an orb off his back. I haven't really been able to showcase the climbing because this dude is so small, but you can climb Kemno after breaking parts of their body to acquire more materials and overcharge the amount you can carry, basically allowing you to spam buildings afterwards. It's a great mechanic, inspired by Dragons Dogma, and can result in moments like this.
I'm on him. Let's go. Oh my god. We're up. We're up. We're up. We're up. We are up. We're going. We're flying.
Oh no.
You can show me the world. The marine sides with...
Oh shit! Aladdin!
Back to the fight. I was doing extremely well. I felt badass parrying all these moves, like Poe when he learns to deflect all those fireworks, or like that meme dude who knows Kung Fu, which angered the fox, resulting in Melly's death. But it was fine, because the fox was actually on death's door, and we had only died that one time. The final fight was upon us. Locked in Luke was back. Relentless in our attack, we were battering him.
Don't worry. Is it? Get the, find the cord, find the cord. Oh, he's aggroing you. Hurry! Yes, you did it.
I swear, my soul left my body when she said my controller died. We were capturing gameplay that deserved to be on a dark side combat reel.
Okay, I'm in the ocean.
Our minds were starting to falter as the fight raged on, but finally, one spin later and...
Oh! Holy shit! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my! Wait, we got to hit him with the... Hit him with the bow. He was a mighty beast. He was mighty. I don't really want to kill him. He's so furry and cute. But god damn. I'm gonna put him out of his misery. You packing him giant box.
We did it.
Oh my god.
Wow.
The Murakumo had been defeated, and our Wild Hearts journey complete. Well, at least for now. Playing again reignited our spark to play, and I'm sure that the game's hardest challenges still await us with a deeply volatile kimono to hunt, and of course, we need to get dripped out on fox gear. So now that I've ranted and raved about all the most amazing parts of Wild Hearts, I truly do love this game, but there is not a single perfect game in this world, and Wild Hearts is far from perfect. Besides performance issues, I believe there are two problems with the game that are key strengths for Monster Hunter. The first one being the gear that you will obtain. With every single monster hunting game, one of the driving forces of the game is the gear. Without epic looking gear and weapons, there's no tangible reason for a player to want to fight a monster more than 2 or 3 times. Without gear, monster hunting games would just become boss rush games. For some players, this is motivation enough, but for most players, there needs to be an incentive to fight the monsters. Wild Hearts gear is unbelievably hit or miss. Can we take a look at this dude? Why does he have booty shorts on? Or look at his helmet. That makes me look like a certified pinhead. And I don't even know where to start with this hood. How does it stay up? Why is it made for someone with the head the size of 4 watermelons? And who thought this was good battle armor? I know a lot of the stuff is very Japanese inspired, which is what sold the game for me. But I think this is where Monster Hunter shines. Because it isn't bound to one culture's aesthetic, it gives them a ton of freedom. And in general, Monster Hunter follows the rule of cool. Make what's as cool as humanly possible within a theme. That's not to say that Wild Hearts doesn't have cool armor sets. Many of the samurai and ninja inspired ones are fantastic. But when you compare it to the sheer volume of Monster Hunter armor sets, it feels a bit dry. This also carries on to the look of the weapons. While I believe most of the weapons look great, the issue comes when I believe they do a bit too much color swapping and not enough actual change. Again, who thought it was okay to have this hammer as a blue, light blue, white, green, and orange variant, all connected to different monsters at different sections of the skill tree? I understand that most people will only go down one line of the skill tree for a weapon, so by recoloring the weapon, you allow a player to see a design that they probably would have missed if it was all unique. But that gives us no incentive to collect or try out other weapon elements besides stat increases. And honestly, that's just a cop-out answer. No one is saying that a video game which has a core gameplay loop of crafting gear is better because it has less unique gear. Unimpressive gear is a key problem to making the game feel like not a full experience. But I believe more importantly, the worst part of the game is the overall vibe and story of the game. Now, Monster Hunter games usually have pretty surface level stories, but the vibes are immaculate. Sitting down with the boys as a chef cat makes you a Michelin star 5-course meal that would make Gordon Ramsay scream in enjoyment with anticipation for the meal. Nothing really tops that. In Monster Hunter, they do their best to fill the world with little stories and moments that bring a smile to your face. While in Wild Hearts, a little child gets eaten alive by a 20-foot tall lava gorilla. I am not joking. There's a part of the game where the main town gets wrecked, and the leader of the town, who is a child, ends up needing to leave. You then start to wonder as you're progressing through the game, hey, where did that little leader girl go? Then you find out on a random side quest that she straight up dies.
The Kemno that killed her. I've been torn about whether to have it hunted or not.
This left such a bitter taste in my mouth. I remember turning off the game and not even wanting to play it for a couple of days. In most games, there is a point to someone's death. You get connected to their character and then for one reason or another, they die. And that has a ripple effect on the cast of characters, the world, and hopefully the player. I believe that when children die, there should be greater care into how that is portrayed, like in The Last of Us. Small spoiler warning for the first hour of the game. Skip here if you don't want to hear it. They build up our connection to Joel's daughter, and by the end of the first section of the game, they rip that away from us. And you not only see how it impacts Joel in that moment, but also how it shapes the rest of the game. No, this game is not Last of Us, and I am not expecting the same storytelling nuances from a Monster Hunter game. But why kill the little child leader girl? How does this aid in crafting a memorable or impactful story? Just so that it can create a more gritty world? Well, I don't believe that's the way to do it. Honestly, no one in my playgroup cared in the least bit for any of the characters or the story in general. One part of the game that I did enjoy with the story and the overall vibes was the themes on balance with both the world and nature. I wish that instead of going for a darker vibe, they would have gone for a more peaceful, relaxing, and reflective vibe outside of combat. Make the world feel like you're trying to connect with nature. Maybe a hub world where you talk with spirits of nature or animals and see how your hunts are changing the world, with some of the kimono abusing the nature around them, creating imbalances like many of the kimono already do in the game. But then having some monsters that are obviously unnatural, rejecting how nature should be, a corrupting force, if you will. Maybe the game's about purifying the rampaging kimono while killing the monsters. I don't know, I just wanted to give some creative possible solutions. But if there ever is a Wild Hearts 2, we need something more compelling that makes me want to stay in this world for 100+ hours. Now that I've spoken in depth about the shortcomings of Wild Hearts, let me finish off with my favorite moment from the game, when me and Melly fought the tiger. This man had everything: range, damage, Rasengans, damage, long combo strings, and did I mention damage? We knew we needed a new approach, and I had fallen into using the staff, which required me to perform chores within a set amount of time, which he would knock me out of, while Melly would try to spin to win with the claw, only to get KO'd in the air. So we had to get back to our roots. Remember who we were when we started playing this game. Just a couple of gamers with a dream to one day become parry gods. And our test had just arrived. Me and Melly grinded out some hunts and got some proper umbrellas prepared. During this time, I learned that there was different techniques to boost the umbrella's meter and how to do the ultimate Mary Poppins umbrella spin of death. So, the fight begins. Yeah, he still crushed us at first, but slowly we learned all of his moves, how long it took for him to jump down, the wind slash he would do with his tail, and how to parry the Rasengan. Well, we hadn't gotten that down, but we would slide away. With each loss, we grew closer to getting his sweet, sweet armor, until finally, it all clicked. It was as if me and Melly had acquired Ultra Instinct. Almost every move was parried, and we wreaked havoc on it with our deadly umbrellas. As it ran away, the time had finally come. I was able to reach the tiger faster, because Melly needed to grab some potions. I made sure to not engage, as we hadn't died yet, but we had gone down enough that if we went down again, it was instant death without someone to immediately pick you up. Melly came into the fray, burning with excitement, but as she arrived, she messed up on a parry on a big move, dropping to her knee and immediately dying. But it was okay. I disengaged the beast, we had 2 more lives, and mess ups happen. She died again. The first death must have gotten to her head, but she was always the cautious one. She was always the one who picked me up. We could not allow this thing to beat us again. So I told her, babe, you've got this. Remember who you are. You're the man-eater, the person who picks everyone up and keeps on fighting until the last second. You can do this. I could see it in her eye. She was locked and loaded again. Her mind was in the perfect place, and the tiger was ready to put that to the test. It had run to our tent and was ready to finish the job. So it decided to almost immediately deal out its most damaging and hard to parry move, the double jump into the Rasengan. With how low her health was and how much damage each one of these attacks do, getting hit most certainly would mean death and the end of our hunt. But Melly did not back down. She stood her ground and showed the beast what she was made of. 1 parry, 2 parries, and the impossible was accomplished. The perfect Rasengan parry into a massive final blow of the tiger. Cheers erupted as we jumped up and down in the living room. Melly had ascended the parry god, and this was her gamer moment. So, is it worth your time? Yes, whether you like Monster Hunter or something threw you off about that franchise. I believe at a sale price, Wild Hearts is worth your time a year later. This game still has intriguing mechanics that are executed on unbelievably well, and fantastic fights in it. Wild Hearts is a ball of potential that became one of my favorite games of 2023 despite all of its flaws. I made countless memories.
Throw it back, eh? That's a fat,
Oh my god. Someone needs a Sheen voice.
Oh my god, Sheen is hard.
He's like, hey!
And every time I log back in with my wife, a wave of happiness is poured over us. Like we already have nostalgia for the game. Wild Hearts deserves another chance at life. And I hope the developers get that chance. Hopefully with a publisher that actually supports them. I know Sony has a lot of plans for live service games, and Microsoft, they'll buy anyone at any point in time if they get a chance. So honestly, I hope a big company like Microsoft or Sony acquires the rights to the franchise and see the potential impact a Monster Hunter-like game could have on their current catalog. I want to thank everyone for the support, all the subscribers, everyone who's followed me on all my platforms. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, and that's unreal. That is crazy. If you enjoyed Wild Hearts, or if you didn't, leave your stories down below and give me some ideas for what you would want for a sequel for Wild Hearts, and hopefully we get it.
Jimmy's mom.
Jimmy's mom. Jimmy's mom.
Hi, Judy.
Judy, you look real nice today.
Wait, hold on, that was not Carl. That was not Carl. It was a crush, it was meant to have Carl.
Judy, you're up.